Hello, Kalu Kalay. How are we all doing today? If things sound a little different or things look a little different, have no fear, OBS updated, and every time OBS updates, something breaks. So, but yes, originally, today was going to be a move on and start Neurobeat, but I legitimately couldn't come up with a good core. And when I wanted to debate the core with people, I got caught up talking, and then I played Starship Troopers Extraction. So that didn't really happen. So, but I think I've got it. So, you know all of these things that we had here? What if we just throw it all away? What if we just throw it all away? It's not worth it. What we're gonna do instead is we're going to, affectionately, we're going to call it, I don't really know the best way, it is pretty much a precognition system. Effectively, you're gonna roll a set of dice. Currently, I'm just gonna say roll X die. Roll X die at the start of the case. Roll X die at the start of the case, and these can augment, and these can augment things. Easy can be. The basic premise, my basic idea, is I'm going to use d6s for this because I have a handful of d6s right in front of me. We're rolling, I roll, and I've rolled 3 6s, 5, 4, 3, and a 1. Pretty good lineup here. Now, as we are going through our investigation, as we are doing something, we can draw upon these dice to augment rolls or just automatically succeed at some. Hey, we need something, I can use the 5. Hey, I need to bump my roll up a little bit, I can use this 3. Hey, I need something more, but I'm no way I'm going to do this naturally. However, if I use a 4 and a 6, I've got a plus 10 to this roll, and suddenly I'm really doing really good. But oh man, I'm going to get fucking popped if I don't do this, so I'm going to burn both of my 6s to do this, and now I have a 1, and the 1's not going to do anything for me, and it's just there. But if we rest, if we take that 6-hour block and rest, or if we end up doing a shit ton of drugs, what we can do is we can take those dice, and we take the dice we've used, we really roll them, and now I've got 2 6s, 2 additional 1s, a 4, and a 2. Not better, but we've got our dice back. We now have options. We're seeing the future. We understand what's going on, and we can now adapt to it. Interesting. Here, of course, Horace is throwing things at me in the middle of the night, but hey, that's half the fun. Now, this idea does succeed at my basic criteria that I wanted to do. My very basic criteria is that I wanted something fast. And I wanted something entropic. Which is to say, you're always breaking apart. You are always losing more than you can possibly gain. Anytime you roll those dice, those are your options now. They are rapidly dwindling. Don't have them for very long. Hoard them. You want to keep them, but you fundamentally know you can't. And you fundamentally know that you're going to have to burn something. You're going to need to push yourself. So, how do we do this? Well, you need to get around things by... Effectively, the goal more than anything is not necessarily to roll the best or have the best dice, it's to mitigate loss as much as you physically can. Hey, this is pretty difficult. I'm going to use tools, I'm going to look at things from a different angle, I'm going to ask questions rather than try to do something. Hey, I don't want to use both of these 2 6s I just rolled. I don't want to use those. What can I do to use maybe smaller dice? Hey, I just need a 6. So why don't I use up this 5 and this 1 and we can get rid of it now. You're making it's risk calls. You're making assessments. You're trying to think things through. But one of the things is you're always trying to avoid chaos. Because chaos is what you're going to need to make rolls on. Things and elements outside of your control, but you have slight influence on. Because you have influence over an actual negotiation. Hey, it's you and the perp, you're in a room, you are in the interrogation room, you've sat down with one another. There's going to be no roles there. Why would there be? He's going to react to certain things, you're going to react to certain things. What occurs? You have a warrant to read his mind, but you damn well know the millisecond you attempt to do that, he's going to start trying to resist you. So, what do? Try to get it, try to get things out of him. Where were you that night? Here. Well, that's not true. That's not true. We visited there. They didn't see you all night. Well, they're lying. I'm going to believe them more than you, but you're here right now. Okay. Where were you really? We're here. Hey, what were you doing over there? I was doing. Ask questions. Ask questions. Find answers. Look for lies. But a chaos moment being like, hey, do you make the shot? Do you get shot? Are you It's someone's point, someone puts a gun out, do you get shot? That's chaos mode. You don't know. He might miss. You might dodge out of the way. Bunch of things can go on. Gun out, he's looking down the sight at you. What do? Burn those precognition dice. Hey, I've got 2 6s here. I'm gonna be perfectly fine. No matter what occurs here, I can tank 1 shot. And that's gonna be just enough for me to bring out my gun and shoot him. That's fine. Mitigating chaos. Think smart. However, I don't know what dice I want to use. Easy answer is D6s. That's the big thing. The easy answer is a bundle of D6s, because D6s are easy to do, they're easy to read, numbers keep fairly small. On the other hand, we can go to D10s. D10s are fairly active. We have things that are present, that are available, and we can use these, and our numbers are going to be a little bit larger, but our range is going to be larger as well. We have just as much of rolling a 1 as we do a 10. That changes some of the dynamics quite a bit. Because one of the other questions we need to ask is, how do you... I guess the best way to do is natural flow and skill. If precognition allows us to predict the future, allows us to change the future to our benefit, because we quote see it, it's not the real truth, but we have a little bit of way to mitigate it. I've always thought saying fast resolution was pointless. Can you name a single game that set out to design intentionally to create a slow resolution system? I would make an argument that they don't go out there creating a slow resolution system. That's not the question. You're looking at that incorrectly. They go out there to create a resolution system, though. Hey, I've got 20 dice I need to count. Shadowrun does not go out of its way to say, "Oh man, I'm going to create I want to create a slow resolution system." No. It says, I want to create a robust resolution system. I want to make sure that there's everything in there. Fast is different. Fast is me saying, I want to make a system that is easily getting to the point as few rolls or as few notations as possible. Like, let's take, for example, if we want to do like an attack, for example. Hey, I want to make an attack in world's greatest role-playing game, Exalted. So, if I say, hey, I want to make an attack, so I gotta choose what my attack is. Then I'm going to make a roll based off of my dice. I count up my number of successes, then I'm going to end up having to make damage rolls. They're going to also have to be making defense rolls, excellencies, defenses, a vast majority of things. There's a lot of things going there, but that's the point of the game, is bust. Fast, though, is, hey, I want to solve all that in 2 rolls. I hit and I deal damage. Hell, even D&D, even the other's world's greatest role-playing game does the same thing. What do I want to do if I have to hit you? Well, this is very complicated, in fact. I roll 1d20 plus modifiers versus your AC. I beat that, calculate on any differences I need to make, then, lo and behold, I need to roll damage die now. Okay, well, let's double check what the damage die is. Well, I gotta make that roll, and okay, add +2, it's the ideal 7 damage. 2 rolls. We want to keep things down. We want to make things immediate. 1 die. I don't want to roll multiple die in this, but 1 simple little die. I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of fixed variables in this one. For a bit, I actually flirted with making it diceless again. It's been a while since I made a diceless system, but welcome to, well, yes, correct, Surrender to Oblivion. Yay! I debated on making it diceless for a minute, and the question on the diceless question was, okay, what it is, because at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of deterministic results. A lot of things of, do you do thing? Yes, you do thing, you do thing occurs. When I make an attack roll in Exalted, I just don't do damage. No, that's very different. I have to make a roll to see if I hit, see if they defend properly, they do damage, I do damage, and then all the defenses. Slightly different. But everything has got a different way of doing things. What I want here is make it nice and simple. So I'm I'm caught between D6s and D10s. A reason for this is D6 is easy and readily available. These are the simplest dice to get and simplest dice to roll. 1 to 6 results, 16% on any result possible. And it also means that if you roll a 3, that's still pretty good. You might roll a 5, you might roll a 2, you might roll anything. But it feels pretty good to roll at least a 6. And then all the resolution mechanic is going to have to be built around that. Hey, we don't really need dice to be insanely huge or whatever. D10, on the other hand, is a little different. D10 has got 10 sides, 10% for each variable. One just as likely to roll a 1, just as likely to roll a 10. That's a 9-point difference. 9 points can mean a lot in a resolution system. If your target number is 10, rolling a 1 is a lot. Target number is, rolling a 1 is going to be pretty awful. Rolling a 10 is instant success. Target number 10 on a D6, that's going to be a little bit more complicated. So, how do you do things? How do you do this correctly? Well, let's think about what we actually want a basic resolution system to be like. Do we want to have a target number? So, I would say basic go, because we want to effectively, what this effectively is stating is that we want is deterministic. I'm not going to roll for anything like damage. No, if I'm legitimately thinking that if I go up to if I go up to here, I am legitimately thinking health or anything like that is quite literally going to be alive, injured, dying, dead. While stress would be stable, fraying, unstable, and like collapse. It's like very simple. You take a bullet, you go down to, you immediately are dying because bullets do 2 damage. You're already injured, you take a shot, congratulations, you're dead. Things are fast, bloody, and quick. Don't need to go fast. Because the question should not be, I'm gonna kick down the door and blast this perp. No, why would you do that? You know where he is. Get the place surrounded. Or, hey, you know you have a shit ton of dice. Plan ahead. Get in there right. And when you get in there, fuck him up. Because you have a gun on him. You know he doesn't have a gun. Kick down the door. Police, open the fuck up, or I'm gonna start some shit. Or hell, when in doubt, call a Murphy. Murphy's gonna take care of it real fast. Generally speaking, a basic check can go down 2 directions. Either die is value. That's kind of a weird way of wording it, but like effectively we'd be making a jank-ass version of the effectively like, oh, 6 up is this. Very, very loosey-goosey. I'm not entirely a fan of that. There's something we can probably do there. Alternatively, we can use target number. There should be, Oh, I fight my enemies. Feels like there should be an answer. What would it be? Easy answer is, again, like a narrative, effectively narrative result. You get what you want. I get what I want. But it's all narrative, but I don't like narrative. So let's do the Notepad narrative framework, the N2F. This is going to be vaguely based off it, not perfect, but let's see. I think it's success based. Hello. Alternatively, we could do 1d10 plus. It's 1d10 plus You know what? Here's a game. A game we can actually want to double check. There's one in doubt. Consult something you know. Also, in case you're curious. Yeah, just roll under. And back. Mm. 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 Actually, natural skill is rolling a d10. Mm. If the let's see, if the character has a knack in it, they roll a d6 instead. They roll a d6 instead. Hmm. So we roll a bunch of d6s. So actually, precog. Precog dice are d6s, because at the end of the day, you're skilled at being a psychic. So it's like, hey, if you got a knack, you're going to roll a d6, or you can add one of your precog dice to automatically succeed, or a bonus to it. But... Or we could do, But then at that point, why would you ever want to if you rolled a 6, you would never want to roll you would never want to add a 6 to anything. There would be no point. So I don't think rolling under would be appropriate. So I mean, if we do roll 1d10 plus see, adding a plus 1d6 for or we can do that's wrong. That's not right. Hello, Mom. I don't know why my mom wants to talk tonight for some reason. I think my mom's bored. Welcome to game design. There's so many variables to this, driving me insane. Because I'm saying we need something to effectively represent, like, just natural flow. We need something to represent, you know, effectively, character A wants to do, you know, character A wants to do X. He can effectively, you know, roll a die. Even if he has absolutely nothing else, he can roll a die. It's not efficient, it's not good, but he can roll it. I guess, I mean, if we want, we can do, Recog die are D10. Flow state die is D6. We do D6 plus a skill. Not really necessarily. I mean, if we treat them as skill tributes, treat the system as a skill tribute, so what would our skills be? Skills we can tie to... I did. It's unfortunate I deleted that. I mean, if we tied every skill is a... Part of me won't say write-in skills. No, that's not the right option. Psychic powers double as skill tributes, so it's you want to use a psychic power, you're in fact using a skill tribute. You are using a thing to change the nature of your roll. I feel like precog dice should be weird dice. D6 or 2 normie. Give me some weird for my mind. Yeah, I was thinking about something like... That's why I'm kind of going back and forth of like, how do I want to do the precog dice? That's why I'm also getting caught up in the system so much, because it feels like there should be a method to do something. Again, I'm feeling that D6 plus like a very stable die. Your D6 is, you know, D6 is human and stable. So just making if you're just going with the flow, it's going to be a D6 roll. It's going to be D6 versus like a target number, or even like D6 versus target number to like generate successes. So it's just like, hey, get a success. Difficulties are like 1 to 6 or something. Like, you know, very, very small things. See, if we want to get weird with readily available dice, mind you, because again, I have to always imagine that this will be played by real human beings on a table. D8s could be another one for the precog die. I don't have many D8s, but they're kind of a funky die we don't see very often. I would produce 8 results. It'd be a little higher than average, so I mean... Die system, somewhat. But has category or keyword or something else to make a different action, same category. They roll +1 die, stacking as long as you keep the chain going. Did I finally decide on which dice system you will use? Yes, we're going to be using a system called the precog system. Effectively, core idea is that you're going to take a number of dice, we're going to roll those, and those are going to be our dice for our character for the immediate future. We can immediately sub out, maybe we can sub out a die, subbing out. We can sub things out, we can add, I don't really know the details, that's why we're doing this tonight. And those are constantly being taken away. We need to rest, we need to do fucking drugs, we need to do something to get our bonuses back, to get something back. If you're trying to incentivize a team, people take a turn. What if each action ability only lets you roll 1 die, but has category keyword and someone... Not even necessarily incentivizing people taking turns. But... Now, this is a convoluted method. Now, bear with me. This is convoluted as fuck. But we can do... So effectively, it's going to be D6 versus TN. One way of doing things. This is an incredibly esoteric way of doing it. This is not productive. This is purely thought crafting. Effectively, our standard die is going to be D6 versus target number. However, we roll our precog die. Let's say my D6 rolls a 4. I can add, and normally, let's say I want to, verse TN, but let's say our TN is 6. Obviously, I don't succeed. Now, what I can do is add a precog die to my result. Let's say I have a 4, verse TN 6, and wowzers, I have successfully, I've bypassed it. I've added 2 D6s, 2 whatever these dice are together to get a D8. And that's a success. However, what I can do instead is do a D6 worth 4. I can do actually, let's do a D6, generating an 8, but I could also put in another 6. So now, technically, I've generated 2 successes. I've doubled the number of successes I have. I've doubled the number of successes because I've stacked these 2 together, and I have just added this one to the mess. Effectively, you can add in as many die as you wish, and you're trying to effectively stack them on top of one another. You want to go for breadth versus width. That's kind of the idea. You can get a very large die, very large die pool or whatever, but if you only get 1 success, you're only going to get 1 success. So you want to kind of like try to play a little bit of back and forth. That doesn't really go with the main theme or any core concept really in this particular game. Esoteric way of doing things. This is what I mean, but it's a very weird way of doing things. And I don't know what kind of game it would work best for, because it would effectively be a completely botched, fucked version of one roll system. It would be a completely botched variation of that. And this isn't what that game is supposed to be about, because again, entire idea, remember, entropy. And checks are going to be about 1 roll. We want 1 roll to give a lot of information. I don't think the 1 roll engine is ironically going to be good for that, because 1 roll engine's kind of weird in that regard. See, again, there is the incredibly cursed variation of, again... There's this incredibly cursed variation, but I don't think that's correct, because I don't like those kinds of systems. and I really don't know how to make them more interesting for moi. So, kind of at ground zero on that one. Again, there's the incredibly easy way of doing this, by the way. There's the incredibly simplistic way of doing it, which would be you're going to roll a d6 plus your skill tribute, d6 plus skill tribute, versus target number, and you're going to use your precog die. I mean, we can probably say precog die are going to be like fucking we'll call them D10s. Yeah. Your precog die are D10 or something. That's just what it is, or a D8. People like D8s. No one uses those fucking things. Just, hey, whenever I make a check, you know, whenever I, let's say, oh no, target number 10, and I say D6 plus 3, I roll a 9, I can add in a precog, precog die, and, I score, 10 or whatever. I add in whatever the precog die is, and I beat the result. I am successful. This is the easy way of doing things. This is the incredibly simplistic and immediate method of doing things. This would get us to our result as fast as physically possible, and get to where we need to go. So that's the big thing. It would get us to where we need to go. Part of me is like, yeah, this is the fucking Occam's razor, baby. The simplest solution is the best solution. There could be some convoluted bullshit here. Don't need it. Just reach the goal of what we need. Why bother trying to effectively reinvent the concept of wheels while a wheel is available? We already know what the wheel is. I do not need to try to invent a square wheel. On the other hand, I've also made square wheels before, so I think the question really does boil down to I think the idea really boils down to does Notepad want to have a permanent headache doing this game? Or does Notepad want to feel vaguely unsatisfied with this game? That's the question. I think the precog system, this idea, works perfect. This is exactly what I'm aiming for. This is exactly the pièce de résistance. It feels like though I should... It feels like there should be another way of doing this. And I don't know what that other thing is. Because one thing we want to do is become chaotic. Which checks our... But only in, checks aren't frequent, but only in chaotic situations. Is something chaotic? Is something, you're kind of applying something, a little bit of maybe. If. Okay, bear with me. We've got an idea. Maybe we deal with a set target number. We do like a set TN, like we do a set TN at like 5. That's our set target number. Everything we do, set target number at 5. Actually, no, we'll say a set target number at 6. 6 is vastly inconvenient for everybody involved. because generally speaking, it's not average. It's a little bit above average or very difficult for most of the die. So if we say a set, let's just do a set TN at 6. Actually, Psychic numerology. Okay, tell me more, India tell me more, India Times, about the number 7. I want to learn about the number 7. Tell me more about numerology. Oh, we've got a Manly. Hello, Manly. Of course, we've got Timo Manly. Because if we, 6 feels weird, because bear with me, this is the idea. So, we have a set target number. Difficulty is our, quote, natural chaos die. This is important. Difficulty is our natural chaos. So, let's say, for example, we are in we're in a pretty easy situation. We need to make a read on, easy situation. We might have a D10. We might have a D-fucking-12. This is an easy situation. However, on a fucked situation, we might have a D2. We need to naturally hit 6. No matter what we do, we need to hit a 6. Now, there's an issue with having a 2 in a situation. Can you hit 6 at a fucking 2? No, you can't. So what are you going to need to do? You're going to have to start relying on those precognition die. You have to rely on precog die. And those precog die are very difficult. You don't want to use those precog die, because there could be other situations. But let's say, for example, we roll really well in our D12, but what if we roll a 5 on our D12 and we really want to succeed? Well, let's burn one of our precog die a little bit, and then we add the result here. So now we've succeeded what we need. You always know what you need to do to succeed. It's how do we get there? How do we change the situation? That could work. We've immediately changed it. Ideas are simple enough to understand. You can get most things done in one roll. And entropic for the idea that things can naturally go horribly, horribly wrong. However, how do we change this? Maybe we... Maybe we have a stacking die system, kind of like Cortex, maybe. We just need one die. We need one die to hit 6. That's what we need. We do not care about anything else. We just want a die to hit 6. Hey, we're really good at shooting people with a gun. We're really good at shooting people with a gun. We have a D8. We get into a fucked situation. We have a D8 and D2. So let's roll my D8 and my D2 here. I have a coin. I literally have a coin, by the way, so I'm going to flip my quarter. This is a, let's see, this is a 25-cent piece. This is a quarter. No, this is a $1 thing. I have a dollar coin right here. I had a dollar coin. And I flipped it and it went to the stratosphere. Okay, we'll say heads or 2. So, I rolled a 1 and a 2. Bad news bears. Doesn't matter how good we are. We just rolled very poorly. That's bad. We are in a bad situation. So, skills double as psychic powers. So that's what we can do. So you're gonna roll. Okay, so hey, we can't all gravity isn't everyone's friend. Okay, so bear with me. All right, so we've begun a game of Neurobeat. I say to everyone, all right, squad, roll your our precog die. Let's say you're gonna roll, hell, let's say 6. You got 6 precog die. That's your base amount at our current state of being. We roll our precog die. Let's say they're D10. They start at D10s. We got a pretty good roll. We've got a 10. We got 2 10s, a 9, 2 10s, a 9, a 5, a 3, and a 1. So we can instantly succeed, technically, at 4 checks. Roughly speaking, we can instantly succeed at about 4 checks. However, these aren't very good, but we've got our die here, very basic. So, in situation, we are going here. Oh no, there is a difficult situation. I'm going to be rolling my D6. I need to roll my D6, and let's say I have a skill of D4. I'm going to roll my D6 and my D4, and I'm going to try to beat my target number of 6 for this situation. I roll, I've got a 6. I pass it. I don't need to rely on anything. Let's say, oh no, I've got a 1 and a 3. This is pretty bad. I need to burn some dice to do things. Look at my dice. I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this 3 here. A 3 on my precog die. Cool. It's done. Yeah, I have successfully passed the check. I've rolled over a 6 technically. This D10 is gone. I'm down to 5. Keep going on. Oh no, I need to make a psychic power check. Something is going on. This is bad though. So I'm looking at things. I'm just rolling D4 to this situation. We are in a hopeless situation. This is something that should not occur. I got a 3. Let's see. I'm looking at my die here. Nothing really good. So I'm going to use my 5, make it an 8. So I've instantly succeeded. And I'm going to use my 10 for the effect of my psychic power. I'm down to 3 die. So, effect goes perfectly. It's super effective. It is insane. It does a shit ton of effects. Something occurs. It is the best possible result of using this die. I do not have to hurt myself. I am not being taxed. I am not injuring myself. The result is exactly what I want it to be. But both those D10s are gone. Everything is fucked. All right. Situation continues. Let's think. Maybe we jack this down. We jack the precog die down to D8, but we jack up the target number to 7. Kind of more encouraging you, like you have to use the precog die eventually if you want to make checks, because any of them are going to be difficult. But it's like, okay, which precog do I want to use? Do I want to use a larger precog I already have rolled, or do I want to use, so the value of like the 1 die is still there, and that makes rolling D4s, D7s all the more painful, because it's like, okay, I'm being forced to use bigger ones. I'm being forced to use larger ones, and that is 3 dice that it's somewhat more difficult to rely entirely on just your natural talents or skills or whatever. It's a little bit more difficult. You kind of got to plan ahead with those. But again, these are chaos situations. These are situations of a flurry of chaos going on. I mean, unless we add in like a results check, which would be like just TN like 2 4 6 8 10 12, like it's a very reliable system, and that's just the quality of it's like just effectively like a quality check. Like, it's not necessarily, like, quality checks are different from chaos checks, because it's like something bad is going to happen. You're risking something fundamentally up here. The quality checks are effectively TN0, but quality is quality is important. That's kind of the idea of the quality check. It's not the fact that we're searching the place that's difficult. It's the fact that I'm rolling the die. I've got a d6 and I rolled a 6. That means I've got a good quality. Whatever I'm getting, it's good shit. Or I can burn a precog die and increase the quality. Or hey, I can, get better results out of this if I burn results. If I'm burning myself away, I'm getting more results. But roll better precog dice with drug. Always force results when needed. Precog deteriorates in quality as mental state collapses. So if we do stable is D8, afraid is D6, unstable is D4. Actually, if we want to be gamers, we can actually do this. Literally, your fucking precognition gets better as you start mentally deteriorating. But you're riding a very fine line there, and all your powers are going to get better as you are slowly losing your fucking gourd. But you have very few, and you always are tempted to to tap it to get in something more. That could be interesting in its own right. So if you use a lower precog die, you're going to get out of paying more cost. So if you have a 1 or a 2, that's better. Versus, hey, you're just rolling high. That means effectively, the more frayed or unstable you're getting is your precog die are getting better. These are getting way better for you. The problem is you're going to effectively, it's a rapid descent. How do you mitigate this? Take some drugs, take a pill, always force results. You want to burn precog to do something. You want to burn precog, you have to burn precog. Yeah, I think that works. This is going to be a little bit funky, but with target number 7, generally speaking, if we say like an average chaos event's going to be DA. Like, that is, things are going not good, not bad. You're rolling a DA. You're going to be able to succeed about 25% of the time, just relying on yourself. Nothing more, nothing less. You're using that. However, as things get worse, you're going to have to start relying more on your precognition. You want to use your psychic powers because those are going to be really fucking good. And these are going to let you do things. But that's only during chaos, I should say. Only during chaotic events. That should be one of the ideas. Only during chaotic events. If you are in an interrogation, you are sitting if you are sitting there on the situation, you're never going to roll a die. There is no need for you to roll any die. You maintain skin contact. There's no need to do it. Why? Why wouldn't you? Because you're there. You've already won. You have already put yourself in a position where you've already won. In center system lingo, you've rolled a D1. There is no possible way for you to fail. So, what do? The game is not about rolling. The game is about mitigating chaos. Hey, it's a very chaotic situation if we're in a gunfight. Why are we in a gunfight? Don't be in a gunfight anymore. Change it. Get a Murphy in there. Murphys don't roll for Murphys don't roll. You don't roll with a Murphy. You lose to a Murphy. Any human will lose to a Murphy. And what are they going to do? They have to run. Now we have a different situation. Perp's on the run. We've got his entire apartment, though. What's he going to do? Come back? We've got this place on 24/7 lockdown. We've got all the shit where he can do. He has no money. He has no assets. He has nothing. He's going to die on the street. We're going to be able to find him. So what do? We've mitigated chaos. We've called a Murphy in. He ran like hell. Easy can be. Hey, there's a gang of people we need to stop. What do? Hey, I'm going to use a flashbang. Fuck it. I can requisition this shit. And then, you go in there. You've mitigated the chaos. This is a high chaos situation. You have made it less chaotic. None of those guys are armed. You've gone in there. Your guns are fucking drawn. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. You say, get on the fucking ground. Show me the hand and get on the fucking ground. What are they going to do? If they try to bring a gun, you've got a shot on them already. It's going to be like, yeah, all right, make it fucking D12. It's D12, and you're going to have a great time. It's going to be super fucking easy for you. If you do everything perfectly, they may not even be able to, you see him reaching for a gun. What do you want to do? I want to shoot him. Cool. You take the shot. He fucking drops like a sack of potatoes. The difficulty is the mitigation of chaotic events. There is a problem over here. We need to solve the problem. How do we solve the problem? You can rush in there, and you might need to. We're running out of time. This bomb is going to go off in any moment. We need to go in there and fix it. Hey, this guy's making a run for it. We can't call in things that we need to call in. We got to go in right now. Hey, he's not telling us what we need to know. What do we do? Sometimes you can't mitigate it as well. So what do? You plan ahead. You ask the right questions. You find the right answers. It is find situations where you are in complete control. Because Neurobeat is about control. That is the core foundation. Baked in, it's entropy. Everything is breaking down, and whoever is in control is winning. And you are in control. You have the advantage. You can read these people's fucking minds. You have effectively the resources at your disposal. Hey, make friends. Have a good relationship with people. You're friends with the guy in forensics? Yeah, he'll fucking help you out. And you're like, hey, Dan, I need help for this. Can you run this in the system? He's like, yeah, 'cause you're my friend. And I have a vested interest in helping you. I can expedite this a little bit. I can go this a little bit longer. Hey, you're friends with one of the people who works at a hospital. Hey, we're running a case. We know you can't reveal patient information. However, what if this is X, Y, and Z? You don't need to research this. You don't need to spend time doing something. You're mitigating chaos. You call someone up being like, hey, I know you're a doctor. I have a question. This guy's ODing. Like, we think this guy OD'd. What would cause all the symptoms here? And be like, oh, he OD'd on this. And it's like, oh, cool. We've now got, we've got a situation. Hell, you let a guy off once or twice, and suddenly he's kind of indebted to you. Want to call in a favor somewhere. Hey, you let off a corp guy a few times. Even though he's done some nasty shit before, you call up a favor. He's like, all right, I'll do it for you. Yeah, okay, that could work. That's good. That's good. All right. I think this works. It's a little... We keep everything at alive, and it is... You break down physically. What's your skill at dead? D0. You're dead. Don't worry, just read it in your mind and I'll hear it, and that way the blame is on me. Effectively, you can do things like that. You can, it's just kind of like you slip him a piece of paper being like, hey, I can't read this. Can you? And it's like, oh, like, yeah, little things. You build up a network and suddenly you ingratiate yourself with people, and people are still going to be worried about you, but that's where things of entropy comes in. Things are breaking down. Life is breaking down, and what do we want to happen? We want things to go fast. There aren't going to be many roles. There aren't going to be many things going on. You want to mitigate that. There's not going to be a combat system. There's going to be a conflict system. Okay. This works. This works. I can do it. It's gonna be fucking weird, but it can work. Yeah, you can tell how far along I've gone where I haven't actually even written this up yet. I was legitimately just losing my shit when it came to like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? But yeah, I'm feeling better about it. Do what I usually do. Using the power of conventional psychotronics. Here's what we can do. I think I have the look of what I want with this particular game. It's a very particular look, but I think it'll be cool. So what we're going to do is see, we can be the inn and have the Cyberpunk font. The other option is Orbitron, but I put Orbitron more in. It's Beth Ellen. Now time for some real fun. Choosing a font. Woo! Yeah, this is effectively to give you an idea. This is what I was thinking about. Majority of the art's going to look like. A majority of the art being kind of this very heavy brushstrokes, very, very painty. Just to kind of highlight some certain factors of it. The setting's a little bit weird. So I want to... Maybe we can add in some little bit more techie aspects to things. This is what I do best. This is my normal. I know we're doing something right when a smug anime girl appreciator posts like a 9-page long, diatribe on, the power of priority tables. Oh yeah, baby, we're so fucking back. You have no idea. We're so back. Like dogs in the vineyard. To a degree. Ooh, whoa, how cyberpunk. Again, I would... The cyberpunkness usually kind of comes into its... I imagined it more like Blade Runner than strict, yeah, it's kind of the idea. It's more Blade Runner than like Cyberpunk 2077 than Pondsmith's version. It's a lot more, I guess, near future. I guess that's how you would word it. It's near future, which always sounds weird to me. Let's... Julie. No, absolutely not. Spectral's a nice font. Spectral's too big though for what I'm looking for. Well, you know what time it is, everyone. Time to hit the Cyberpunk font Google. Google, tell me more about Cyberpunk fonts. Or Google. Does anyone know Orbitron? Everyone likes Orbitron. It's not, we're not going to use Orbitron. I pictured this more sci-fi. Typeface by readability. ShareTech Mono might work. Do. Okay, so this is we'll do this is ShareTech Mono here. Let me just so this is ShareTech Mono, and then we're going to do preface EXO. I do have EXO. I've used it before. What was that other one you recommended? It was Squatta. Never seen Squatta before, so let's... Oh, that's it. That's naturally bolded. No. I don't know about that one. So this would be Nova Square. Let's pick a reliable normal let's Ipsum. Give me some good old lorem ipsum. Generate lorem ipsum. Okay, so we do with very basic Forta Conforta. What do we do Conforta? Conforta light. Conforta light. Light. I'm gonna drop EXO. Used EXO before. I usually use it for sci-fi stuff. Yes, we're using scaling dice system, baby. We're using scaling dice, baby. So I get to explain it to you. I get to explain it as simply as possible. So, start a session. You're gonna roll a number of precog dice, and I'm probably going to end up with about 6. You know, 7, and probably 7 or 6. I don't quite know the exact number yet. You're gonna roll a number of precog dice. These are dice that you can use throughout the session. Whenever you're going to roll up to 2 dice. You're going to be able to roll the chaos of the situation, which is the higher the more chaotic something is, the lower the die you're going to be rolling, and you get to roll a skill die. The target number is 7. You roll above a 7, you win. However, it's kind of hard to beat a 7 with a d6. You roll a 6, I roll a 4. I could use any of my precog dice to augment that roll. So that is the absolute basics of it. It's just target number 7. That's it. Right now, we are trying to determine the best font. Welcome to font choices. Yeah, fonts. Fucking love fonts. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Oh, you're heading 1. If we reduce you to... If we reduce you to 9, we can fit in a lot of room. Let's see. Yeah, gotta use the fancy one. Yeah, you want to use all the available fonts, you have to download a fucking Plex, yeah, the IBM Plex Mono stuff. Let's see. It's yeah, why they hide these? I don't know why they hide these. They do though. Because you can't get all of these. Some of them make sense, like this one, which is literally scribbles. Others of them, like, you can use, or they're just very particular. Actually, here's what we'll do. Let's... That's awful. That is truly a terrible thing. Oh wow, that's even worse. That's awful. That's truly terrible. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna totally use that font for something. Sorry, we're doing real Mountains of Christmas. Oh, we're so fucking back. Did my message send? Sorry, I got let's see, others Orato STD. I want to make sure. Is that a Google font? Mm. Mm. Micromia. I'm not feeling Micromia. Actually, Vernon, what have you done, Vernon? Vernon did Notino. Ooh, love Notino. Moolish is a great fucking font, by the way. Nutino can save everyone. Grupo looks funny. He even did bangers. Vernon Adams is doing the fucking work. He's got all of my favorite fonts. Terrible font selections. Let's see. Yeah, you also get terrible things like this. If I was doing a fucking Austin Powers game, rest assured, this is it. I was doing an Austin Powers game. Yeah, baby. This one's just called NTR. I Nanum pen script. Like, these are all terrible fonts, and I love all of them. Noto Sans. These are all for, fun fact, all of these ones, anytime you see any of these, like, Noto Sans or Noto Serif or anything, these are for very particular languages to make sure that they come through. Nova Cut. That looks terrible. Nova Flat? No, also terrible. Odomenche. That's just the... Oh, baby. Hey, baby. Oxanium. Ooh, Oxanium's nice. Ooh, I like this. I won. Okay, now we get to play a game. Do we have a... Ooh. Oh, God. That's a nice font. I need to see what that one looks like. Again, this is... Welcome to game design. Where I get the... Delete it now. It's legit, like, I need everything to look feel before I really get writing. It's a curse. Overpass is nice. Yeah, I mean, don't you want an Austin Powers game where everything is just, yeah, baby? Let's see, do we have Overpass? I mean, let's try Overpass. Overpass is pretty nice. I like that. What is Ovo, though? If it wasn't a serif, I think I would like it a little bit more. I want things to look very, very particular for this. Let me see. Bondo? That looks like a very... Racing Sands 1? Oh yeah, Rocks. Railway dots? What? Why is that even a font? What? It's called Redacted, by the way. Oh god, I've added every single one to my, Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's fontin time, everybody. Yeah, we're gonna have to remove all of these. That's gonna be fun. But this is the comedy bits that you all want. This is why you come to the Notepad on stream. Ruslan display. Sticks to text. Sacramento. Oh god. Syra. Syra could. Syra would. Ew, 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 absolutely not. I was like, ooh, maybe this will be a good. Ha ha ha, no. Sauropudge. Hmm. It's all square and round redacted. Look at the font called Rigidi. In a very particular game, that would work perfectly. It would need to be a very particular one. I'm always a fan of Spectral. Spectral needs a very particular game though. Stalinist, Stalinist. What's this one called? Stalinist 1. I'm just gonna make the entire KAT system in that. Stick no ball, no bills. That's a terrible fucking font. Oh, they have Unical. They have Unical Antiqua. I did not know they had Unical Antiqua. Vampiro. Vampires. There could be vampires here, he thought. Volcorum is also a very good one. What the fuck is this? Waveform. This is just called Waveform. Because fuck you. Fuck you, kid. Yatro 1. Yeah. Oh, Zendots. We all love Zendots. I'm feeling Nova Square. It's... Honestly, honest to God, I am... ShareTech Mono looks appropriate, maybe not for this game. Or maybe... Do you have the... I like Conforta. Conforta Light. I really like Conforta Light. It's a nice, reliable font. Very readable. My big thing is I do not like the body font being anything exotic. I like it to be very simple and very easy to read. That's always been my my thing there. Like really squish fonts, so I'll probably still stick with Conforta. I think that works pretty fine. But these two are big. These two are real big, and they might take up, but we may want them to take up more. I mean, let's do 33, because this is gonna be like a main header font. Let's bump everything up to 33. This nails the techie vibe. However, we're not really dealing with that in particular, so we've narrowed it down to these three. Actually, oh, I catch my This is going to be a temporary cover, just for now. Might play with this a little bit more, trying to invoke the very particular vibe I want with it. No. I think we keep it with Nova Square. We keep it with Nova Square here. Because a little bit of matching there. We got Neurobeat into Preface. keep the font at 9. Let's keep it rigid. Let's keep it rigid. There we go. Actually, let me do this, that. Then we need to add in 2, 3, 4, heading 2, heading 3, and finally heading 4. That's going to be Nova Square. We're going to be 29. We reduce it by 6 to be 23. Why do you have remove those fucking spaces? Actually, you know what I'm going to do is we're going to add a space before. What if we just hit 1? Add space. Custom spacing. What does it do? Before. Why don't we do 7.5? There we go. 7.5. Nice and easy. Not after it, just before. You, when in doubt, hey, you know what we can do to make things look 10 times better with doing barely any work? Why don't we put a line under it and we'll make it 1.5. Boom. I'm a fucking genius. Custom spacing, line spacing, 0. What if we do 0.06? Ever thought about that? Whoa, Jesus. Hey, let's maybe not do that. That's bad. Let's not do that. Can we do it like 0.1? What if we custom spacing, we do nothing? Why don't we do that and apply the minimum amount of work physically possible to once you want to keep that. Man, this thing looks like a fucking disaster piece already. This is great. Ow. Okay, so let's welcome to Notepad Wrangles Google Docs. Okay, so let's just do, we want to add space before, add space after, single line. We just do this. There we go. What if I want to make a new paragraph? It's going to go down here for some reason. Alright, we don't necessarily want that, so what do? We do remove space after paragraph. Nope, that's not it. We want to remove space before and after paragraph. So everything looks perfectly together, but what if we add some custom spacing? What if we just put an 8 there? That's a little bit too far. What if we put a 5 there? And then we put this. We split up the paragraphs a little bit. Do we dare make this a column game? Dare we make it a column? I don't think we should make it a column, but we can totally make it a column game. See, this is the beautiful part about this entire experiment, is if I want to, I can do whatever I want, because nothing makes sense. I could literally just say fuck it and make Neurobeat a square game. And there's not a goddamn thing you could do to stop me. Notepad, the new planet is on the 6th. 7th, don't do columns. You don't do square games. Oh, but here's the problem. I do square games. My man, I do them. Because Scala Maleficarum was entirely square. Yeah, this game was entirely square-based. That was the joke with it. Because I asked you fuckers, that's what you wanted. You bastard, you monster. What are you, a guy that makes one-page fancy games? He does do square games. We hate it. You love it. This is what you crave. This is what you crave. This is what you want. Don't lie to yourself. You crave it. You desire it. You want this deep, dark fantasy. Part of me. Don't you believe in this deep, dark fantasy? I might have to readjust heading 3 later on, but that's just going to be a thing I do then. So everything should be set up for the video. Should be set up for the game anyway. I probably will go around and maybe try to fix the yeah, I will probably end up trying to fix the cover to look a little bit more cool than currently this, because this looks kind of lame, but it gets the mood across, and that's arguably the entire point, is get the mood across. So we've got our preface, it's currently lorem ipsum. I will probably write up the preface for Friday, and Friday we will begin getting all of the getting all of the first things out. So I'm gonna call it here, though. I'm gonna call it here. However, this doesn't mean we're gonna be quite done yet. I just want to go over a few things of what's on the schedule, because things are a little bit hectic around holiday season, and this is what I do best. I like making schedules. Schedules keep me going, because I'm clinically autistic. So, very basic idea. Oh, clicked on the wrong button. So, pretty much, we're going to do technically we're going to do a classroom for Friday. It's not quite what I want to do. Oh yeah, we got to pay Notepad. Let me just run an ad real fast. So generally speaking, the classroom is going to be on. Oh no! I did all the wrong things in life. Classroom is a long time you don't do a classroom. Yeah, the past few months have been kind of a bigger thing I want to talk about, or like, hey, here's a big project, and I usually want to say I do a big project every month. You lost followers? No, I still have the same. Still have 304 followers, yeah. I've just been meaning to do a classroom for a while. I've been wanting to do it. It's just, I haven't really found a good one, but we're going to be doing gameplay loops. It's going to be organized in a slightly different fashion than anything, because my big thing on gameplay loops is pretty simple. It is the focus. Well, I could have swore it was 310s. Nope. We have been we haven't, when we reached the we reached 300 recently, but actually now you mention it, is it? I can check previous videos. You know what? Let's here's what we can do. Here's what we're gonna do. This is called big brain plays. This is big brain plays with your boy Notepad. So nope. 303. I mean, if we go back to like Spell of the Black Magician, maybe we can nope. 297. We're good. You have any design thunk thoughts? Design thunk, I haven't really found, like, the thing is with design thunks is I want that is my SEO machine, and I want there to be something SEO worthy to really talk about. So there's probably January we'll come up with something, because January is when you start getting some weird shit coming out. There's going to be no big thing next month. Big thing next month is going to be really easy, though, because not only are we doing a very special video, which is going to be a fucking nightmare to do, by the way. There's going to be a very special video. There's also going to be the noties. Yes, we have the noties this month, at the end of the month. Get ready for the noties! Yeah, technically we have two big videos we're doing next month. See, that's what I could do. I could literally get Tufty to make me a stupid jingle. That's the best part. Get Tufty to make me an intro and outro jingle. But yeah, next month is what are the categories for the noties? I don't know yet. I'm literally going to make them up as I write the script. But my plan is the week of the 18th to the 22nd is going to be one big video, which I am estimating will probably be over 12 minutes. It will probably be a 12-minute super video. Just because that's going to be really just painful to do. And then on the week of the 25th, literally right after Christmas, leading up to the end of the year, we are going to do the noties, and that's just going to be 1 week of noties. That's all it's going to be. The goal is to finish Neurobeat. My plan anyway is to finish Neurobeat by the 5th. It is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Generally speaking, my plan is to finish it by the 13th. I think we'll probably be able to get it done early. I'll probably take a break and we'll just play video. Like, December is going to not be a huge design time, because we're going to have the next list of games. And that's going to also be my time to kind of get where all those are. But it's just going to be me working on a bunch of things. We'll play some video. It looks like we're going to be doing King of Dragon Pass. If we finish King of Dragon Pass early, I'll do legitimately, I'll just do the second game on the list and we'll just play them back to back. It'll be kind of more of a fun, entertaining thing. But yeah, the idea behind the gameplay loops video is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to kind of give everyone a little bit. It's gameplay loops normally are described as what you're doing in a game. And for your soul survival. No! The basic concept, you could say, of a gameplay loop is, like, we'll take a game like Monster Hunter, for example. Monster Hunter's gameplay loop is very simple. It is acquire gear, hunt monster, collect gear, collect resources, get gear, and you continue the loop. That's the entire game. And everything is driving you toward collecting gear, collecting resources, fighting monsters to collect gear and collect resources. That's the gameplay loop. You can say Yick's gameplay loop is go to an objective, fight some monsters, solve some puzzles, fight the boss, and redo it again. Tabletop role-playing games are a little bit different in that front because obviously they are a different medium and have different requirements. My idea for the video is we're going to be focusing more on not necessarily gameplay loops, but gameplay foci. It is, games can be designed around having a very particular focus of what the group should be doing. Rather than like, oh, well, I want to encourage a loop of what's going on. It's, what does the game built around? And what should that game be support? And, what is that game really supporting is? Kind of using the idea of like D&D is, D&D does not support social campaigns. D&D does not support exploration campaigns. D&D supports combat. It wants you to get into a fight. It wants you to gather resources to get into that fight, and you're traveling to get into a fight. Everything about it is fight-based. Older versions were a little different. It was, hey, I want to acquire money. I want to take resources. It was just changing the focus a little bit does change the very nature of the game. Because now, I kill something, I get experience, is very different from I collect money, we get back home. Why would I ever want to get into a fight? That's the worst possible state of being for me. I don't want to get into a fight, because that's not me leaving the dungeon. That's why I'm thinking, kind of like, I'll bait people in with, like, gameplay loops, but it's going to be a little bit deeper about that, kind of like, how shifting the focus does fundamentally change something. Now, you as a designer can take a focus, like take whatever the focus of your game is, and effectively say, hey, this is what we're doing. You are doing one thing. Your combat doesn't need to be perfect if the entire game is about exploration, because you should be exploring. Combat is just a supplement to the exploration. That's how Rune Master got away with it. Or you should be saying, hey, the entire game is based around combat, and because the entire game is based around combat, you can kind of lack on other aspects because it just isn't like that, because that's not the point, a la Monster Punk. It's little things like that. Translating the game to loop the table with multiple players become complicated for me. With Reciteer, Moonlighter, yeah. Because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, like Moonlighter, Reciteer, acquire item, sell item, profit to get more item. Easy, simple concept. But that changes though. But again, you just assign a focus. What do you want to focus on? You want to focus on the acquisition of goods to sell? Cool, that's a very different thing than like we're running a shop. Because if you're like, oh, well, this is the acquisition of loot, of supplies, of things to pawn off and sell, then the entire game becomes a group effort of acquiring resources to maybe refine into better things. Or maybe we want to get monster parts to sell off here. But what happens then? Now you've changed the focus. Hey, monster parts sell for a shit ton of money, and we're monster hunters. This is our job. Go out there, we kill things, we harvest all the body parts, we head out. However, there are some things we got to consider now, and there's some things you, the players, and you, the gameplay, can now make a... Yeah, again, and that's the beautiful thing, running a shop and selling stuff. That's something with a TRPG that's very unique, is you can effectively say, the focus isn't necessarily this. This is an end state. Because if you think about it with Monster Hunter, at the end of the day, Monster Hunter is, again, gather gear, gather resources to get gear, to fight monsters, to gather resources to gather gear. But the main focus is on that fighting the monsters part. That's what the main game is. That's the end state. Everything you do is, in fact, trying to get you to fight monsters, and fight bigger monsters, and fight tougher monsters, to get better gear, to get better equipment, to get better things. With your thing, it would be your end state. So if our basic, our basic 1, 2, 3 here is you want to make a dungeon crawler about acquiring loot to sell in a shop to make sick gains to go back and hunt more treasure. Your end state is going out to a dungeon to acquire treasure, and the shop and stuff wouldn't be the focus. Now you have to you can abstract that shop a little bit. What goods did you acquire? What items did you get? What are you willing to pawn it off for? Are you even willing to? And you can actually kind of hone that aspect of the game back quite a bit, because that's not the focus. However, if you suddenly make that the focus, you can immediately now change the nature of the dungeon crawling. Dungeon crawling doesn't even really need to be dungeon crawling. You're going to a dungeon to acquire something, but it's not the focus. The focus is how do we fucking pawn this shit off? And that has a very different vibe to it, a very different way of doing things. That's what I want to kind of focus on for this classroom is choose a focus and what do you want to do here? And it's like, hey, you want to make a game that is just about pawn and shit off to make sick gains. Then you're going to focus the entire game around what gear is best to take in, how much money does it take, what's the upkeep cost, what's the upkeep, what's the selling price, what do people actually want, versus we're going to a dungeon to get a bunch of fucking gear to pawn off so we can go back into the dungeon to make sick gains. Very different vibe, very different way of approaching things. That's what I want this video to be like, is one very simple concept can have many different focuses, but trying to spread it really thin. And then I'm going to reference Contact once or twice in that video, because Contact did that. Trying to do everything at once immediately puts all of that in compromise, because nothing has the focus now, and everything feels really weird. So I'm going to call it here before my voice gives out. So thank you all. This Saturday, of course, we're going to start King of Dragon Pass. I have had the King of Dragon Pass stuff set up for literally ever. I've been ready. And the schedule is we're going to start Neurobeat Friday. Older remaster. I believe this would be the remaster. It's not like a mobile, it's the GOG version, so I wouldn't be surprised with the old version. I thought about actually getting 6 Ride with the Wind. 6 Ages Ride with the Wind. I seriously debated on getting that one, but I'm like, no, I like King of Dragon Pass. I remember this game. Which version did I end up getting? Ugh. Back. My bones. Let's see. Now you get all to see all my sick games that I have. Yeah, this is King of Dragon Pass. I believe this is the older version. Yeah, no, this is the original 1999. Yeah, so I think I have the new version of the game. It was a little bit confusing. I just kind of saw it on sale. If you must know, I saw it on sale, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get this. So yeah, no, I think this is the remastered version. But we can play the 1990 version if we really want. So this is gonna be a little bit different. I've never played the remastered version, but that old version I have a deep affection for. Good times, good times. What are you? Oh, this looks like dog shit. This looks like complete dog shit. How much does it cost? Insomnia, the Arc. Never heard of this one. What's Dieselpunk sci-fi RPG? Declaring, yeah, this looks. Wow, these look really, really bad. But I get, HeroCraft. Yeah, HeroCraft has a lot of things they publish, but King of Dragon Past is A sharp. Yeah, this is 6 Age. I did debate on getting 6 Age, but then literally we're like, I'm gonna get 6 Age. Then 6 Ages 2 came out. I'm like, ah, fuck. Uh-oh, I don't know what I want to get anymore. So yeah, no, oh goodness, crack. Okay. What's up? Oh, you should. Oh, you can import. I didn't know that. That actually sounds pretty cool. Yeah, no, I'll think on that. Let's import your fuck up into the next game. Yeah, no, if it goes on sale for Christmas, I might pick up 6 Ages. I think that would be fun. Again, I'm making no promises with King of Dragon Pass, by the way. That's gonna be like the first thing I have to mention. I'm making no promises on quality because it has been literally forever since I've played it, and I don't remember events. I know I'm just gonna have to trust Elmal, because don't worry, trust the plan. I'll bother you on RuneQuest lore. I'm gonna do my best. It's been a while, so yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I have many questions on Elmal Manly. Do I have let's see. Do I have the exact Manly for that one? I don't think I ever made the exact Manly for him. We had Bronze Age Manly though. We had Bronze Manly. we had Bronze Doge though. We had Orlanthi Doge. Though we will have a very special guest though. Have no fear. We will have a very special guest showing up frequently for that one. So, thank you all. Godspeed, good luck. I will see you all on the flip side.